Now we are going to discuss about solutions. We know that mixtures are of two types. One is homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. The homogeneous mixtures are all called pure solutions. Because they are called homogeneous, because it has got only single phase in the sense throughout the solution, throughout the mixture that you're talking about, has uniform composition, uniform or constant composition. So when they have constant composition, that means every solution, so we call this a pure solution. So in a mixture, homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures are there. Homogeneous mixtures we often refer to as solutions, and they are called pure solutions because it has got only one phase, a single phase. That means the composition is uniform. So any part that you take out from the solution will have the same kind of composition everywhere. So that we discussed about it. Now, what are the components of a solution? So what are the components of a solution? Components. So there are two components. One component is called solvent, the other component is called solute. So these two together constitute a solution, a solvent and solute. In general, solvent is present in large amount and solute is present in small amount. So what is then a solvent? A solvent is something that dissolves, and solute is something that gets dissolved, Okay, in pure solutions, the solute particle size are very small, that is in nanometer size. So 1 nanometer, 2 nanometer, 0.1 nanometer. So the size is definitely not more than 1000 nanometers. So a solution, a pure solution, has got two major components. One is a solvent, the other one is a solute. A solvent is usually present in large amount and solute is usually present in small amount. The solute gets dissolved in solvent. Okay, then solutions, how much amount of solute can be dissolved in a solvent? So that puts a limit, that the quantity that is going to signify the quantity of solute that can be dissolved in a solvent is called solubility. This solubility of a solute in a solvent is a function of temperature as well as pressure. I'm going to explain these two now. So what's a solution? A solution has got two major components, a solvent and a solute. Solvent dissolves solute, okay, and the solute is usually in small amounts. The amount of solute that is present in a solvent is signified by a term called solubility. How much amount of a solute can be dissolved in a solvent is called solubility. I am saying that solubility is a function of temperature as well as pressure. I'm going to give you two examples. Suppose you take 1 tumbler of, let us say, water, 1 tumbler of water, and keep adding little salt. You keep adding little salt and you keep on adding salt. After that, when you add little more salt, that salt will not be dissolved in this water, but that salt will be deposited and collect here. So that means this is the maximum amount of salt that you can dissolve in this quantity of water. It's a glass of water. Say, let us say 3 spoons. 3 spoons, suppose this water dissolves naturally. Then adding little more than 3 spoons, it is not dissolving. So what you are trying to do right now is, instead of water, this is normal water at room temperature. Now you take same amount of water, now it is a hot water. Even if you add 4 or 5 spoons now, it will be dissolved. You see that just 3 spoons normal water at normal room temperature, this dissolves only 3 spoons. I mean, I'm just giving a random value, but you can check. If it is 2 spoons, hot water dissolves more than 2 spoons. If it is 5 spoons, hot water dissolves more than 5 spoons. So same amount of water. So when the temperature changes, the amount of solute that can present in a particular amount of solvent increases. That is why we are saying that solubility, the amount of solute that can be present in a solvent, is a function of temperature. When temperature increases, amount of solute present can also increase. So solubility is directly proportional to temperature. That is why usually when we mix sugar in water, so we usually heat it up and mix. So for many sweets, when we prepare, we want more amount of sugar that is to be present in a small amount of water. So we need a sugar solution. In order to prepare a sugar solution, normal room temperature water isn't sufficient. You need to heat it up so that that water right now can contain more amount of sugar. So that's why you are heating it up. So then the second thing is pressure. This is an example where solvent is water. So solvent is water and solute that gets dissolved, right? That solute is salt here. So in a particular solution, there can be more than 2 or 3 solutes. So there can be one solvent, more than one solute. That is possible. But the next thing is, when we talked about solutions, we also talked about 2-3 more things. That is solid solutions, liquid solutions, and gaseous solutions. Solid, liquid, and gas solutions. In that, solid and solid, solid and liquid, solid and gas, liquid and all those things we talked about. Let's talk about another thing which we usually drink. Let's say a Coke or Pepsi or something, or simple soda. A simple soda is a mixture of gas in water. It's a mixture of gas in water. So water is a solvent here. Water is a solvent. The gas is a solute. So gas is present in small amount. Usually what is there? So soft drinks are contained or just packed in a water bottle. It's a bottle, right? So in that bottle, that is packed in high pressure. When you open the lid, then the gas comes out. So before, when you close the lid at high pressure, the gas dissolves in water, and that is present, that is inside the water. When you open the lid, so this is the can, in that can it is closed. When it is closed at high pressure, the gas is in full this water. Fine. When you open it, so the pressure is now decreases. The atmospheric pressure only is there. So the gases at low pressure, at high pressure, the gas is inside the solution. It's inside. Then when you open it, these gases at high pressure were present as a solute right now is coming out because the pressure decreases. So at high pressure, you can have more solute. At low pressure, there can be only less solute. Again, solubility is a function of pressure. So solubility is a function of 2 things. That means it depends on temperature and pressure. At high temperature and high pressure, you can have more amount of solute that gets dissolved in a solvent. So here solution has got 2 components, solvent and solute. Solvent plus solute is a solution. And solubility is the amount of solute that can be dissolved in a solvent at a particular temperature and pressure. Solubility is a function of temperature and pressure. Remember that. Then solute plus solvent is a solution. Now the amount of solute that is present in a solvent is expressed in percentage. Like we usually express the pass or fail percentages in a classroom. Here also the amount of solute present in a solution is expressed in percentages. There are 3 possible percentages that we use. One is mass by mass percentage, and mass by volume percentage, and volume by volume percentage. What is mass by mass percentage? Suppose mass of the solute by mass of the total solution. So mass of the solution. Mass of the solution. Solution means you have to weigh both solvent and solute. Mass of the solute by mass of the solution into 100. This is called mass by mass percentage. Suppose we dissolve, let us say 50 grams of sugar in 200 grams of, suppose 50 grams of sugar in 200 grams of water. 50 grams of sugar and 200 grams of water. See, then the mass of the solute that we are dissolving is 50 gram, and that is dissolved in 200 grams of water. When after we dissolve this, 200 plus 50 becomes 250. So 250 grams is the mass of the solution into 100. So 50, and this is 5 times 100 by 5, this is equal to 20%. Like that we calculate mass by mass percentage. Then what is mass by volume percentage? This is mass of the solution, mass of the solute, always in the numerator, mass of the solute and volume of the solute. Mass of the solute by total volume of the solution, volume of the solution into 100. One example, suppose there is a bottle. This contains 1 liter of salt solution. In this 1 liter, let us say 100 grams of salt is there. 100 grams of salt is in this 1 liter water solution, salt water solution. In this 1 liter of salt solution, let us say only 100 grams of salt is there. Then mass of the solute is 100 by volume is 1 liter. 1 liter, again, either you can just write it in 1 liter or you have to write that in milliliters. So you can write it as 1000 centimeter cube. 1 liter is 1000 centimeter cube. This is in grams into 100. So when you cancel these two, it is only 10. So 10%. This is mass by volume percentage is 10%. So here this conversion we have already talked about. We know that 1 liter is 1000 milliliter. 1 milliliter is 1 centimeter cube. 1000 milliliter is 1000 centimeter cube, and 1 centimeter cube, 1 centimeter is 10 power minus 2 meter. So into 10 power minus 2 meter is centimeter whole cube. That means 1000 into 10 power minus 6, 3 into 2 minus 6 meter cube. This is equal to 10 power 3, 10 power minus 6. So 10 power minus 6 into 10 power 3 meter cube. That means 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So volume can be expressed in liters or in milliliters or in centimeter cube or in meter cube. So the conversion is 1 liter is 1000 centimeter cube. The centimeter cube is usually referred to as cc. So 1 liter is 1000 cc. 1000 cc is 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So this conversion is important that you need to remember. And the last part of expressing the concentration of the solution. So how much of a solute is in solution is what you call concentration of the solution. Concentration. So the concentration of the solution can be expressed in mass by mass percentage, mass by volume percentage, volume by volume percentage. Volume by volume percentage is volume of the solute by volume of the solution, solution into 100. All are in percentages, mass by mass percentage, volume by volume percentage, and mass by mass percentage. So that's how we usually refer to it. See, so once again, it's a very small thing. What is a solution? So one small recap, just see to it. A solution has got two components. One is solvent, the other one is solute. The amount of solute that is present in a solvent, usually large amount of thing is there in solvent and less amount is present in solute. And so then there are possibilities where you can have more solute and less solvent. Then we will discuss about it in higher classes. So a solution has got two components, solvent and solute. Solute is that is something that gets dissolved. Solvent is something that is dissolving the solute, and these two together, okay, is called a solution. It's a pure solution. The particle size is very small because a pure solution will not scatter light, will not scatter light. Yet the light scattered by the sea or the air is what you call Raman effect. So then normally it does not scatter light, and this solvent plus solute, okay, is a solution. Then there is this thing called two things. Solubility is the quantity of solute, the tendency of the solute that gets dissolved in a solvent. The solubility is a function of temperature and pressure. When the pressure increases, solubility increases, and when the temperature increases, solubility increases. So suppose you have a solvent, you keep on adding solute. Beyond certain limit you cannot dissolve anything more. Then after that, when you add a solute, that gets deposited at the bottom. So this is called a saturated solution. What is a saturated solution? Saturated solution is where maximum amount of solute is in a solution, beyond which you cannot add solute. Saturated solution. Saturated solution is again at a particular temperature and pressure. See, suppose for example at room temperature at 40, let us say at 30 degrees Celsius, you add some solute, and let us say in one glass of water, 4 spoons of salt you are able to dissolve. Okay, then after that, when you add, that gets deposited at the bottom. That means this solution is a saturated solution because after 4 spoons it cannot take. But at 40 degrees Celsius, this is an unsaturated solution. You can add little bit more of salt. This can dissolve even more. Okay, so this is about saturated and unsaturated solution. In a saturated solution, maximum amount of solute is there. Maximum amount of solute is present. In an unsaturated solution, you can still add some more solute, but a saturated solution at 30 degrees Celsius is not necessarily a saturated solution at 40 degrees Celsius, because 30 degrees Celsius maximum amount of solute is present, but at 40 degrees Celsius the ability to dissolve solute increases. Then you can add 2-3 more spoons of salt here. So a saturated solution, when you define a solution is saturate, then at that time you have to mention the temperature at particular temperature and pressure, because when the temperature changes, solubility changes. Suppose at a particular temperature you have 4 spoons, 30 degrees Celsius, 4 spoons of salt is there in water. When you decrease the temperature to 20 degrees Celsius, then more salt will be deposited at the bottom. That means that previously it was unsaturated, now it becomes saturated. So when you define solubility or saturation of a solution, you have to be careful about that at what temperature and pressure they are talking about. So there are 3 ways of expressing the concentration of a solution: mass by mass percentage, mass by volume percentage, volume by volume percentage. See, the volume mass, so it is total mass of the solution. At the denominator you either write total mass of the solution, total volume of the solution, total volume of the solution. At the numerator, either mass of the solute or volume of the solute alone.